Good afternoon. We're here with Cecelia. Well, I guess I should leave that up to her because that's my first question, actually. So, what is your full name?
Cecelia Ann Wilson.
And why did your parents select this name for you?
I was named after my grandmother, Grandma Cecelia. So, Mama named me Cecelia. The full name is still just Cecelia.
Okay. Okay. Did you have a nickname while you were growing up?
Several.
Any that we could put on tape?
Well, CN, your father used to call me CN because he couldn't say Cecelia Ann.
Okay.
So, and that kind of stuck. And a lot of people said CC, you know.
Okay. I think for the record, we should let everybody know that my father is Norman Banks, Jr.
My oldest brother.
Right. Correct. Okay. Okay, when and where were you born?
I was born November the 10th, 1942 in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Homer G. Phillips Hospital.
Oh, okay. That's good information. Okay, were there other family members in the area?
When I was born?
Yeah.
All of them were back there.
Okay.
My grandmother came to California first, Big Mama. Came first, and then Dad came out to work in the shipyard. And he sent for my mother, Norman, myself, and Madeline when she was 2 months old.
First came to California?
It had to be 44.
44?
Maybe 43.
Okay.
43. Because Madeline was born in the end of 44. So, 43, 44, I'm not sure.
Okay. What was the house, apartment, or farm that you lived in like in St. Louis, if you can remember?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
I really don't. Because I was only like 2 when we left there. And I think it was, I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, so the first house that you can remember living in
was the projects in San Francisco.
In San Francisco, in Hunters Point? Double Rock? Okay, okay. And that was just basically old military style homes, correct?
Exactly. We lived where now they have the it's Double Rock now, but we lived there when we were in the old cracker box type houses. And it was 2616 Griffin.
Wow, wow, that's memory.
And then we moved from there up on the hill in Double Rock to 177 Double Rock Road.
Wow. And then, how long before you moved to Lovis Street?
We moved to Lovis when I was 10.
10.
And so that had to be
1952?
52.
Okay, okay. Lovis. 1952. Okay. And then Lovis, that's where you got the majority of your schooling. So what schools did you go to while you were living in Lovis?
Well, when I was 11, I was going.
Oh, so you went to school actually over.
I went to school in Bayview.
So where'd you go to kindergarten?
Bread Hart.
Bread Hart. Okay.
And I left Bread Hart. I would go back, I would ride back every morning with my dad going to work, and I stayed with one of my old neighbors until school started.
Oh, okay.
Until I graduated, because I was going into the 6th grade. I didn't want to change schools. So
right.
I graduated from Bread Hart.
And Granddad was working at the shipyard.
He was at the shipyard.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he would drop me off every day at some neighbors that Gene house,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd go to school, and then I'd go there after school and wait till he got off from work and bring me back to Lakeview.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then I went to James Denman
Mm-hmm.
Junior High School
Mm-hmm.
and Balboa High School.
Okay. How was it growing up in Lakeview? Was it interracial, or was it mostly predominantly white, or what? How was it when you first moved
When we
there?
first moved there, it was predominantly white. I think there might have been 3 or 4 black families on the block. But it soon, really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they started moving like
Right away.
out. It became pretty much blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Prina stayed there. Remember Prina?
Bud and Prina, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
They were there until they died.
Uh-huh.
But most of the ones that stayed couldn't afford to
It was,
move.
yeah. So they had basically a white flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, within a year, I think we had a completely black block.
Wow. Wow.
And when we moved there, I think it was one black couple across the street, and then there was the Hunters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I'm not sure if it was another black down the street, but within, I'd say, maybe a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
we had all black neighbors except for Prina.
Whoa. So
And Barbara, and remember Barbara down
Yeah,
the street,
yeah,
they stayed
they
too. They
stayed.
couldn't
Yeah,
move.
they couldn't move. Okay. So so did you encounter any type of racism when you first moved in?
Well, yeah, but I was growing up in the projects. You knew what your limits was.
Right.
You know, and you knew where you could go and couldn't go.
Right. Right.
And I remember when I first moved over there, and I was playing with one of the little girls down the street, and we were playing jump ropes, and she said, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigger." And I said, "What did you say?"
Mm.
She said, "Well, it's just a song."
Oh my God.
And I think I told her she better not say it anymore. Or nothing. But anyway, I quit playing with her.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just through with
Through.
it at
After that.
So we moved there like in before Ruthie was born, because Mama was pregnant with Ruthie. And we she was born in May, so it had to be, school was out shortly after we moved there, so we had that summer
Mm-hmm.
to play with the kids on the block. Then I went to, I went to start at Denman.
Oh, okay.
So I knew I got to meet some more black kids,
I see.
you know.
Okay. Was there any special things that you remember about the Lobus house? Any special things, memories?
Yeah, a lot of fun memories.
Yeah,
about,
I imagine.
growing up there. I remember we were kind of like, well, always, even in the projects, we were like the California link to the people back in Missouri. And every summer we'd have relatives coming in and piling up, and we'd have to double up in the beds. We had 3 bedrooms, and in our room we had 2 sets of bunk beds,
Mm-hmm.
so we all had our own bed.
Right.
And in the boys' room they had 2 sets, and it was for boys.
Right.
But when company would come in, I'd have to let one of my sisters sleep with me in my bed, because my mother I had a top bunk,
Yeah.
and she'd give the bottom bunks to the company.
The company.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was always quite a bit of resistance there, because I didn't want them sleeping in my bed. It was just a lot of good memories. I remember we always had an open house where
Mm-hmm.
all the kids in the neighborhood came, and ours was the hangout house.
That's
you know.
right.
And I think from that, I ended up doing the same thing when I got married. Was
Yeah.
the open house, the neighborhood hangout house.
And believe me, it's passed on down to me, because I learned from you guys,
So, and like I said, it was a lot of fun memories. I remember when I was a teenager and just starting to date and stuff, and I used to get in basement parties, and everybody in the neighborhood would come. I mean, we'd be packed, jam-packed. And, it's a lot of, we had a lot of family gatherings too, you know, where it was adults through the grandparents on down to the kids.
Yes, yes.
And every holiday, any occasion was a celebration.
Right, right. Okay. What was your earliest childhood memory? As far back as you can remember, what is your earliest memory that you can think of?
The only thing I can really remember was when I was about 4 years old, and my mother had her bicycle shipped out here from St. Louis, and my dad taught me how to ride it, and it was an oversized bike because they were bigger than they make them now.
Right.
And my dad used to sit on the seat, and I'd get in and I'd pedal on the handlebars, and I could barely see over the handlebars, but we would ride around the quad where we lived. It was, you know, it was like projects facing each one. It was like a quad there. He would ride me, and when he'd come in from work, he'd take me out riding on that bike, you know. And I remember as we grew up, all the men would be out there on the, I guess it must have been like Friday evening playing baseball, and we'd all be watching them and sitting out there, you know.
Yeah.
It was, and all the ladies would be out, they'd be out combing the kids' hair, doing string beans or something. You know? It was like a community.
Yeah,
You don't see that.
you don't see that, and we miss that. We need that back.
Yeah.
We need that back. What were some of the hairstyles and fads and stuff that were around when you were coming up, like maybe in the 60s? And
Oh, we had lots of them. Oh, I can remember we did the platform boots.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And
The bell
mini
bottoms.
skirts, bell bottoms. Oh my goodness.
Afro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the afro. I remember when I first got my first afro, and it wouldn't do. My brother shaved all my hair because he was a barber, and it kept looking kind of like a Chinese baby sticker strip. So they said, well, wash it in vinegar, you know, and I did. Or kept doing it, and then I had a real nice afro.
Yeah.
But it took a while to get it to that. I mean, we think that's a natural condition. It's not.
No,
all
it's
the
a
time.
lot of work. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I remember Ruthie had a nice afro, if I could
Yeah.
remember back, you know.
I wore an afro from, let's see, I guess about 62 to about 76, 77.
Whoa. Okay. Yes, right.
That was the hairstyle.
Okay. Growing up, what kind of chores did you have to do around the house and for the family?
Oh, shoot. I was the second mama. I used to change baby diapers, cook dinner. In fact, when my mother was working, when I was young, I used to get my brother and sister up, feed them breakfast, take them to the babysitter before I went to school.
Wow.
And when I came home from school, I picked them up and we'd go home and I'd clean up and cook dinner. Before my dad got there, because if the house was dirty and dinner wasn't cooked, he'd be mad. So it was quite different than kids have it today.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.